stay put and get shit done.
And this new electric head is so sick.
$1,400 for one new hatch. But you know, we're gearing up for a big trip.
Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Waves. This is Ben, our jean vest loving, fearless captain. One day he convinced me to go along with him on the adventure of buying and moving onto a sailboat, Kiana. And since then, we've had no regrets. I'm Allie, by the way, first mate and fishing enthusiast. And together, we've been exploring the Pacific Northwest, and one day we hope to take her home and our surfboards even further. Oh, this is Bruce, our sandy boat dog. Thanks for coming along with us, and special thanks to our patrons for keeping us going. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell. Oh my god. I can't believe this is a thing right now.
Alright, so we're down here at the Yuki public boat launch. Just got the trailer ready to go. Allie's gonna bring the dank around and load it up. I'm gonna bring it back to Tofino where I can do the service, do the maintenance on it. I'm gonna maintain the generator and the outboard before bringing it back to Kiana for the winter. That's it. We're moving into winter and time to get on to boat projects. Stay put and get shit done. There's Allie.
You're disgusting. This is a brilliant idea.
We'll just watch what happens. Look at this, girl's doing it all.
Last day of the season. Boat's out of the water. Time to get servicing. It's kind of sad. It's also kind of exciting. I feel like we have a lot of projects that we've been ready to start, but haven't because we're like, oh, we don't want to take the boat apart during sailing season. We have a new toilet. We got some stuff to do. It's time to put love back into Kiana because she showed us love during the season.
Alright, you ready to go make some Thanksgiving dinner?
Yum!
Let's do it. Turn up the volume.
In BC, there are two seasons. Sailing season and project season. AKA spending money season, AKA hibernating season. In sailing season, we don't really do a whole lot of projects because we want to keep the boat functioning so that we can take it out on weekends and whenever we want, really. This boat project season especially, we spent a whole lot of money on a bunch of projects that we wanted to get done. We bought an electric head. We bought solar panels, dinghy daffits. We bought all new electronics. We bought a new radar, amongst many other projects that we had to do. Our only problem is that BC in the winters doesn't always offer the best conditions to get some boat projects done.
So we've got the first big winter storm of the season coming in. Calling for pretty much a hurricane. If it was sustained winds at 90, 100 kilometers an hour, that's getting into hurricane territory. So we're on the boat to just make sure that mainly the tarp above there doesn't rip off and expose our open hatch. So we started this project probably foolishly, and we haven't been able to finish it for a couple of different reasons. So if the tarp blows away, we still have a garbage bag taped in place and then a cooler with water on top of plexiglass to hold that down. But I'm pretty much expecting the tarp to rip away in these winds. Just the grommets will just break loose because they're too chintzy. And then I'm worried that the cooler will even blow out of position and then we'll just have an open hole in our boat.
Oh, good.
So today we're just gonna chill on the boat, ride out the storm, and deal with whatever happens with our open hull. We've got our new head. Might be time to finally get that installed. Allie's working on an episode. I've got some more odd little projects to finish up, some electrical stuff. And that's it. Wish us luck. Hopefully we don't blow away. What's with the luck, buddy? You don't like storms?
So, it turns out that our crazy intense storm was downgraded from like 90-kilometer-an-hour winds to about 40. It's not that bad, but we were also talking about how really none of this would have been that bad if we hadn't just removed a hatch like a couple days prior. Then we probably wouldn't care at all. A little bit disappointing, honestly. I think we were kind of excited for like a storm. It's not that bad, and our makeshift garbage bag hatch is holding up. I think we'll be okay to see the next storm, which hopefully we have a hatch for. Another thing to consider is that Ben and I are both still working too. In order to be able to shell out money for upgrades on our boat, we both still have 9-to-5 jobs. So if a sunny day comes around on a midweek day, unfortunately it cannot be allocated towards boat projects. But when a sunny day comes around on a weekend, you bet your butt we'll be heading to the boat.
We're gonna have a quick surf before we head down to the boat in Yuki and do some boat work. Got a new hatch to install and God knows what else, thousands and thousands of things to do. But so unfortunately, when we removed this hatch, I put some heat on it to help loosen it, and that baked the fiberglass. And so got a bit of repair work to do before we can reinstall the new hatch. Can you believe it? $1,400 for one new hatch. Oh, it's expensive. Alright, so there's the new hatch. It's weird, it didn't really like want to close very easily until I put a bunch of weight on it. I'm hoping we can kind of work it in.
Maybe that means it's not going to leak.
I think we can actually see through this hatch.
Looks good. Good job. And on the rainy days, we do our best to make it work. After all, we have a lot of projects to do and only one boat season to do them in.
So we got the winter shop here in the carport. I'm gonna actually enclose the roof in all the way around with some poly so that I can get heat in here, so that when I'm working on the spars, my mast and my whisker pole, I plan to touch them up with some paint amongst some other stuff, and yeah, I'll be able to get a nice finish coat on that. At the moment, I'm just doing the annual oil change, filter change, loop the leg oil change, and yeah, we're getting the outboard put away for the winter.
We are at the mechanics dock and he's going to take a look at our engine. I feel like we're making a lot of progress with Keanu these days. I think it's our turbo.
We tackle the turbo,
that may be acting up. So Ben is going to chat with him about that and hopefully we don't have to repower.
That's a good sign for the engine. That's a bad sign for the turbo.
I'm here down New Year's Eve day. We've gotten a really cold snap here in British Columbia for the last week or so, ever since Christmas. And on the west coast of the island, where we are, it rarely snows. And when it does, it usually doesn't last very long. But we've had snow sticking around now for the whole week, and this is the first time I've ever seen the harbor freeze over. I'm just checking up on the boat. So this is really convenient that The old Edson electronic mount fits just perfectly with the old starboard that the interior electronics were mounted to before. Check it out. They never used to be together. This was inside, and the aluminum bit was at the helm. So that's going to make repurposing this old mount much easier. One less thing to do.
Okay, so for the next big project that we are going to be tackling, Ben showed you this piece that he's going to be installing in the cockpit for the what do you call that? Multi-function display. Nope, I mean instrument display. That Ben will be installing in the cockpit. We've also made up a similar piece, just a starboard at your plastic maker shop, to install down here. This is our inside helming station, which we honestly don't use a whole lot just because it's hard to see logs from inside, and also you're trimming the sails, and also where we're going, hopefully we have wonderful weather all the time. But for this inside helming station, we are going to be using this piece of plastic, putting it there, and then just installing a phone case on it, like that. All of the Raymarine products have screen sharing, so we'll be able to share all the information about, you know, wind speed and airspeed and depth onto our phone, which then you'll be able to see down from the inside helming station if you really want to use it. So yeah, that's our next project. So if you're keen on watching us tackle that install, I suggest you hit subscribe so that you don't miss out. And I'll remind you that we post our videos every Sunday.
So it's the middle of winter here in Tofino, and I'm using my carport as kind of a shop to work on the boom, and I'm going to service the spinnaker pole as well. It's been kind of frustrating though, because as you can see, it's not a fully covered area, and it rains a lot here in Tofino in the winter. And when it does rain, it tends to rain sideways this way. So right into my work area. You know, I could probably throw up some tarps and stuff like that, but at the moment I'm just picking my sunny days when they do come. And yeah, chipping away at stripping the paint off of the boom. And yeah, just kind of slow process, sanding it all down. And then on the spinnaker here, I'll show you, on the whisker pole, sorry. This is the line that I'm trying to change. This is quite the process actually. You got to pop the rivets. You got to pop the rivets and the screws, take the head apart on both ends, take the whole thing apart. It's definitely not a small job. Spacecraft proven protection. Spacecraft.
So I spared you guys having to watch me uninstall the toilet. I uninstalled the toilet and then reinstalled an electric head, and then Ben wired it up. It was a bit messy, but I was embarrassed every time somebody came over and tried to use the head. It would just stink up the whole boat every time you used it. Not to mention it was so old that there was no parts anymore for it. It was originally from the 80s. One time it actually spit up its contents onto one of my friends, and she was wearing a white shirt. So I'm really happy we finally got that install done, and this new electric head is so sick. Honestly, never been so excited to go pee. And you're welcome that you didn't have to watch me get elbow deep in a project. So there you have it. Our winter in projects. And I'm sure that there's a lot of little projects that I'm forgetting about right now, but I can say with confidence that we definitely didn't accomplish all the projects we wanted to over the winter. We did put a dent in it, however, and after all, whose boat is ever really done? Unless you buy a new one and it's brand new and all that. Anyways, shout out to our new patrons, Brett and Lido and Joanne. Thanks guys so much for joining the team, it means a lot. We have a lot of different projects coming down the pipes and some exciting news too. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe so that you don't miss out on our episodes that come out every Sunday.
Sokotoa.